Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Great Malabite Ifini.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Rufa.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, we started the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. The lead story, Buhari with Dangote Refinery. Nigeria will have excess refined petroleum for export. Optimistic, Tinubu will sustain improved economic business environment. Emefiele, Dangote has repaid 70% of loan used in constructing facility. Says refinery will save Nigeria $30 billion forex, additional $10 billion inflow. Without CBN governor, this project wouldn't have seen the light of day. Aliko Dangote declares. Massive ovation for Africa's richest man. Dangote, first product from refinery to hit market end of July. Vows to satisfy Nigerian demand for all petroleum products this year. Mele Kyari pledges NNPC support for domestic refinery projects. Sanwo-Olu praises Buhari, Tinubu, Dangote. Obi, it's another milestone towards new Nigeria. Yes, the Dangote Refinery commissioned yesterday amid pomp and pageantry with leaders from a number of African countries gracing the occasion. Now, the Daily Trust also reporting that story, Dangote Refinery, a game changer. Buhari flags off Lake Chad oil drilling today. Nigeria to be self-sufficient. Dangote to generate $21 billion, employ over 100,000 youths. African company for Africa by an African entrepreneur. That's how the ECOWAS describe the Dangote Refinery. Now, the Punch newspaper, Dangote Refinery petrol hits market July 1. Federal government to save 7 trillion naira. The Vanguard newspaper, $21 billion revenue, 100,000 jobs coming from our refinery, Dangote. And now we look at the Daily Sun newspaper. Now let's look at other stories. Below the photograph, PDP, Labour Party, lose bid for live broadcast of tribunal proceedings. Ruling not setback, says Atiku Party. Now, of course, the Nation newspaper reporting that story, why tribunal rejected motions on live telecast. The requirement that the court sit in public does not mean that it should sit in a stadium or in a marketplace. The sensitive and delicate nature of election petitions should not be compared to the trials of O.J. Simpson in the U.S., and Oscar Pistorius in South Africa. The law provides for the shielding of the identity of witnesses in election cases. Yes, that's the position of the judges. But in Kenya, you can still go to the YouTube and watch the Supreme Court handling the presidential election cases in Kenya, in that country. It was calm. The atmosphere of the court was not tampered with. The serenity of the court was only transmitted to the people around that country. But Nigeria, this is our position today. Perhaps the politicians one day will also make it part of our statute that election tribunals should be telecast live. Then the judges will have no choice but to comply. Now, the Business Day newspaper, Dangote repays 70% of refinery debt. Products to hit market. Now, in August, telcos, the Guardian newspaper, telcos rising revenue, profits fail to reflect in quality of services. That's the Guardian lead story there. Now, the New Telegraph newspaper, presidential poll, Supreme Court to decide Tinubu's eligibility to contest on May 26, fixes same date for judgment in PDP's double nomination suit against Shettima. Presidential Election Petition Tribunal to decide on consolidation of petitions against Tinubu today rejects requests for live coverage of proceedings. Now, if we look at one foreign newspaper quickly, the Daily Telegraph newspaper, London left behind by financial cities. Yes, stifling rules and costly political meddling is holding Britain back, says a leading investor, Sir Nigel Wilson, the head of Legal and General, one of the biggest investment companies in the UK. He's saying that London is falling behind rival financial cities as a result of over-regulation and political intervention. And of course, Sir Nigel Wilson is saying that Britain's largely missed out on the technological boom of the early 2000s and risk being left behind once again. Of course, they trace this back to the days of Gordon Brown as Prime Minister when he raided pensions, and the chief executive of the biggest company is saying Britain is about to be left behind once again. Ruben, Rufai, and Ayo.
I think to a large extent, it is very sad that we can't have a highly disputed election proceedings broadcast on TV. And I think I do not allude to the argument of comparing these very important, pertinent national issues to that of Oscar Pistorius and O.J. Simpson. I think it belittles the aspiration and hopes of Nigerians. The case of O.J. Simpson was a man, a successful ball star that killed his wife. And the case of Oscar Pistorius was another love affair gone south, that he killed River Stinkham. But in this case, it is not the hopes and aspirations of two lovers that is in question here. It is the life of Nigerians for the next 4 years and determination of an election that every promise was made to bring about a level of inclusion when INEC said they were going to do something, and all of a sudden, the senatorial election was transmitted that day, and only the presidential was not transmitted on time as at real time. So I think it is very demeaning and also disrespectful, with all due respect, to liken this very pertinent national issue to the case of Oscar Pistorius, River Steenkamp, and O.J. Simpson and his wife. What Nigerians just demand is a level of accountability. But my lord, you know better. I submit my case.
Anyway, I was just going to draw attention to page 17 of Daily Trust, the editorial, Sheun Kuti. Big men must respect small men. That's the title of the editorial. Well put together. But it's about people also knowing the limits of celebrity. We have had an incident, was it with Burna Boy, that was reported. We had an issue with Zazuze. Who said, I'm a baboon, I'm from a zoo, I'm a celebrity. He has been very sober since then when the police moved into his matter. And now Sheun Kuti. But the editorialists are right to say even those who may have committed an offense must be treated with dignity and respect. Thank you very much, Emmanuel.